So Kenya Social Ventures is an educational platform for international students seeking study abroad programs, internships, and volunteerisms. Yeah, so like you said, last year I was there for 2.5 months volunteering with a local nonprofit actually based out of Seattle. It's called Hamomi Children's Center. And they are a small orphanage primary school in the slums of Kawangari. So I was there last year as a volunteer. It was my junior year summer of college, and I really wanted to get out of America, kind of experience something in a developing nation. I guess you could say find yourself in a way before the next year, which was the real world. And so I did that, and when I came back, I realized two things. One, I really wanted to go back to Kenya. I really loved being there. I was happy, and that's something that is it kind of consumes you. And two, I really wanted to work specifically with the women's groups. I saw a lot of work in the slums, a lot of work in the rural villages, and it was something that I realized there's a lot of opportunity there. And so what I did was I kind of took the next 6 months to write a business plan. And then when I graduated from WSU, I gave myself 4.5 months. I had a return ticket and said, okay, we'll go to Kenya and we'll see if this is viable. And so that's where I'm at now. Yeah, so Kenya Social Ventures is an educational platform for international students seeking study abroad programs, internships, and volunteerisms. And so what we do is we facilitate the whole process, from bringing the students to Kenya and having living accommodations to providing actual classroom environment education, as well as partnerships with local businesses, entrepreneurs, and companies to actually get internship program experience. So there's 3 legs to Kenya Social Ventures. There's the study abroad programs, the internships, and the volunteerism. And depending on which kind of leg you're involved in also depends on the project you'll be working with. Some students will be coming down on faculty-led programs that are really just teaching them classroom and putting them in a literary environment, we like to call it, where maybe there's not as much immersion experience outside with companies and corporations, simply because you're there maybe for a language program or a special focus program that's tailored to your studies. When I went there, within the first 2 weeks, my partner Tony and I, we had picked up a lot of social projects. Everything from strength and training programs in secondary boarding schools to rainwater harvesting in rural villages. There was so much opportunity and so many groups that we partnered with that we came to the conclusion that the most low cost and efficient way to solve these problems is with international help, especially in the area of education, so students. And that's simply because these are kids who are going into the real world. They haven't yet gotten there. And so we feel if we can actually teach them maybe the things they would learn in 20 to 30 years before they've learned it, then that will just advance them that much. And when we're in a culture with such abundance in technology, we feel this is a very big thing. Of course, Kenya is 44 million people. 80% of those are telecommunications mobile, and another 30% are actually with smartphones. And so like Peter Diamandis says, those are the people who have the technology that 15 years ago even the President of the United States didn't have, and that's something that's really powerful. And it's apparent in a lot of these countries that you call the rising billion, which is developing nations. So our initial programs in the summer actually are going to be faculty-led, where professors are coming over and teaching their curriculum in the environment that we provide them with. But hopefully by fall 2014, we are going to be established and accredited by universities with our own curriculum that we're providing with Kenyan professors who are teaching them. So we have an interesting marketing approach that we're streamlining our programs through the actual courses and professors at the universities. And we're doing this for 2 reasons. One, we find that students nowadays are really interested in learning about social entrepreneurship, capacity building, especially in developing nations that house these rising billion. And the second reason is that professors need material to provide these students with and experiences. So we're actually in a place where they tell us that we're in the right place and time to be providing these, because there's kind of an outcry from students as well as a need for professors to provide such. But not only can you bring a lot of value to them, of course, but it's very mutually beneficial in the sense that you're walking away with a global business etiquette. You understand how things work in the global environment, especially Africa, how things are on a polychromatic scale, and it's it's a much different environment, as everything from the meetings that you're having to the business deals that you're making. So not only are you walking away with that experience, but yes, again, you're giving them little efficiencies, and a lot of that is actually in the social media market. Putting everyone on a global scale. Again, you have 3 billion people in the world who are going to be coming on the internet by 2020.